Hello students, today we will learn how to determine the total temporary and permanent hardness of given water sample by EDTA method, or which is better known as complexometric method. Why it is known as complexometric method? Because the EDTA, that is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, forms a complex with calcium and magnesium salts which are present in water causing hardness. So the solutions required. We have already studied about the reactions involved in the EDTA titration in the previous lecture, and now we will do the experimental method. Before starting with an experiment, the prior requirement is solutions. The solutions required are standard hard water solution, which is required for standardization of EDTA. The second requirement is solution of disodium salt of EDTA, which is an intermediate solution. That means it reacts with both known and unknown as well. Why it is disodium salt of EDTA? Why it is not plain EDTA? Because the hydrogen form or the plain EDTA is not soluble in water. So disodium salt of EDTA is taken, which is soluble in water. So we have to prepare a solution of EDTA. The third solution required is ammonia buffer, which is used to maintain the pH of water. The fourth solution required is sample hard water. The sample hard water is the sample out of which we have to calculate the hardness. The fifth sample is boiled water sample. This is generated from the sample water because we have to calculate the temporary hardness and permanent hardness also from the water sample. So we have to boil the sample so that the temporary hardness is removed off and the remaining hardness in water is permanent hardness. Next, the distilled water, which is the important constituent of all these solutions. That means we cannot use tap water because the tap water itself contains calcium and magnesium and several other ions. So we use distilled water for preparing boiled water sample and sample water. Eriochrome black tea as indicator. So we have 7 solutions in our titration task. The chemicals required for preparing these solutions. First we will prepare standard hard water. We will dissolve 1 gram of pure dry calcium carbonate in minimum quantity of HCl, and then we will evaporate the solution to dryness in a water bath. Why this process is carried out? Because when we take calcium carbonate, it is completely insoluble in water. So we have to solubilize it. To make it solubilize, we convert it into an ionized form, that is calcium chloride form, and this is done by using calcium calcium carbonate along with HCl. A minimum paste is formed, that is evaporated to dryness to remove of the excess HCl, and then we dissolve the paste in distilled water, make it up into 1 liter solution. Each ml of this solution will now contain 1 milligram of calcium carbonate equivalent hardness. Second solution, we have to prepare EDTA, which is again 0.01 molar, and it is prepared by dissolving 3.72 gram of pure disodium salt of EDTA crystals in 1 liter of distilled water. The third solution is indicator solution, for which we use Eriochrome black tea, which is an azo dye, 0.5 gram of Eriochrome black tea. In short, we call it as EBT in 100 milliliter alcohol. There is an alternative. We can use this EBT as powdered form also, but while using powdered form, there is a chance of wasting the chemical, so we prefer using alcohol, solution in alcohol. Fourth, the solution is preparation of buffer solution. 67.5 gram of ammonium chloride is added to 570 milliliter of concentrated ammonia solution, and this solution is diluted with 1 liter water. This is actually made up to 1 liter. The apparatus required are pipette. This is a pipette with elongated tip, pipette bulb, pipette with bulb, wash bottle, standard flask, measuring cylinder, conical flask, beaker, burette, porcelain tile, and burette stand. How we perform the titration? The first step is standardization of EDTA. For standardization, fill the burette with EDTA. Since the EDTA is intermediate solution, so it is filled with intermediate solution. Now we take out 10 ml of standard hard water in a conical flask. We add 5 ml of buffer solution to maintain the pH between 9 to 10 and add 2 to 3 drops of EBT indicator. When we add Aerochrome black tea, it becomes wine red. This solution is titrated against EDTA solution till the color of the solution changes to blue. That means the end point is blue. This is end point, and now we note the reading from the burette. The procedure is repeated with the same to get the concordant reading. That means until and unless we get concordant reading, we repeat the procedure again, taking 10 ml of water. So the reaction, what is the reaction? We have already actually learned in the previous lecture, but still calcium and magnesium ions, they react with EBT and form calcium or magnesium ions. They react with EBT to form a red wine solution. Here the reaction was CaEBT or magnesium EBT. Now when you add EDTA from burette, then the affinity of calcium and magnesium towards EDTA is more, so this reaction will be replaced. Initially the EDTA will absorb the calcium and magnesium ions which are present free in water. They will be absorbed, and as and when the free ions are finished from the solution, then it starts taking out from the indicator and calcium magnesium complex. Since calcium EBT and magnesium EBT is comparatively less stable, and calcium EDTA and calcium magnesium EDTA are comparatively more stable, so the preference of calcium and magnesium ion moves towards the EDTA. Now in between calcium EDTA and magnesium EDTA is formed. In between there is a stage. Here the indicator is set free, which is blue colored solution. So we started with blue color and ended with blue color. In between we are talking that there will be a stage when some part of indicator is set free and a part of calcium EBT and magnesium EBT is still remaining. That means we have somewhat blue colored and some red colored solution in the matrix. So this will result in a violet color between the end point and the starting. So the reaction overall, what is? Calcium and magnesium reacts with EBT in presence of ammonia buffer and red wine solution is prepared. This red wine solution reacts with EDTA and initially the free molecules are absorbed. Later on the EBT is set free and we get end point where all calcium and magnesium present in EDTA, present in water, are absorbed or complexed with EDTA. Similarly, we repeat the titration with sample water in place of standard hard water and get the concordant reading. Suppose this volume is V2. This volume, which is corresponding to V1 EDTA. For determination of permanent hardness, the similar process is repeated, but we have to boil the sample so that we can get only permanent hardness. There is no direct method to determine the temporary hardness because by boiling temporary hardness is evolved. because it is of carbonate type in nature, so it is evolved. So we take 250 milliliter of sample water in a beaker, we boil it off to remove the temporary hardness to make it about 50 milliliter. There should be a standard protocol because every individual will vary the procedure. So the data will be different for every sample. So the standard protocol is fixed that you take 250 milliliter of sample water, boil it off to 50 milliliter, and then make the original volume again to 250 milliliter using distilled water, which is free from ions. In between you get the precipitate because of evaporation of temporary hardness and the precipitation of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. So the precipitate particles are removed off using filter paper. How we have proceeded? 250 milliliter of water was taken. It was boiled to such extent that it became 50 milliliter. It was cooled to room temperature, filtered through filter paper, and then it was again made up to 250 milliliter by adding distilled water. Now to repeat the titration for permanent hardness, 10 milliliter of this water was taken and the process and the steps were repeated as we have done in the step 1 and step 2. So as I explained that you have first stage of red wine colored solution and the last stage of blue colored solution. In between, when some amount of calcium and magnesium is still associated with indicator and some is free, so we have a mixture of red wine colored solution as well as blue colored solution. So it results in violet colored solution. So we have 3 and it is a very specific, very selective titration. It gives a sharp color change. Now we have done the titration and we have got the volumes V1, V2, V3 which are corresponding to total hardness of the water sample. One is corresponding to the sample water hardness, that means total hardness, V1, V2 and V3. Standard hard water, sample hard water and boiled hard water. For example, now you have to calculate what amount of hardness is present in water. Step 1, the calculations include 4 steps. The step 1 is strength of hard water. How to calculate the strength of hard water? Now, if you switch over to previous slide where we have prepared the chemicals, then you can see that we dissolve 1 gram of pure dry calcium carbonate in 1 liter of solution. That means the strength of standard hard water is 1 liter of standard hard water containing 1 gram of calcium carbonate. I have written this as 1000 milliliter, which is equal to 1 liter. So 1000 milliliter of standard hard water contains 1 gram of calcium carbonate. 1000 milliliter of standard hard water contains 1000 milligram. Therefore, we can write it as 1 milliliter of standard hard water will contain 1 milligram, because the calculation will be when 1000 upon 1000 into 1, which comes out to be 1. Therefore, it will be 1 ml of SHW. If we write it as SHW, standard hard water, 1 milligram CaCO3. Now the step 2 will be calculation of standardization of EDTA solution. For this, the first we have got the reading V1 ml consumed with standard hard water. So we have made a statement from the titration done that V1 ml of EDTA is consumed for 10 milliliter of standard hard water. We can write it as 1 ml of EDTA is consumed for 10 upon V1 into 1 milligram of calcium carbonate equivalent. So 10 upon V1 into 1 milligram of 1 ml EDTA will be equal to 10 upon V1 into 1 milligram of CaCO3 equivalent. Step 3 will be calculation of total hardness. In a similar way, we have used 10 milliliter of sample water which consumes V2 ml EDTA. Since 1 ml will consume V2 upon 10 ml EDTA, it can be written as V2 upon 10 into 10 upon V1 into 1 mg CaCO3 equivalent. Here we have used word EDTA if from previous derivation, if 1 ml EDTA is equal to 10 upon V1 into 1 mg CaCO3, then V2 upon 10 will be equal to multiplied by this factor. So V2 upon 10 into 10 upon V1 into 1 mg CaCO3 equivalent. This is for 1 ml. If we wish to calculate it for 1000 ml, that means we have to express hardness in milligrams per liter, that is ppm. So it will be written as 10 upon V1 into V2 upon 10 into 1 into 1000 milligrams of calcium carbonate equivalent. So 10 and 10 are cancelled and we will get V2 upon V1 into 1000 mg of CaCO3 equivalent. Step 4, calculation of permanent hardness. 10 milliliter of water sample consumes. Now this is boiled water sample, consumes V3 ml EDTA. So 1 ml of water sample will consume V3 upon 10 milliliter EDTA. We can write it as V3 upon 10 into 10 upon V1 into 1 mg CaCO3. If it is for 1000 ml, then it is 10 upon V1 into V3 upon 10 into 1 into 1000. It is exactly similar to the step 3. So V3 upon V1 into 1000 mg of CaCO3 equivalent. Now if we want to calculate the last step, calculation of temporary hardness, then temporary hardness will be equal to total hardness minus permanent hardness. The answer is in milligram per liter or ppm, that is calcium carbonate equivalents. Suppose we have V1 is equal to 20, V2 is equal to 10 and V3 is equal to 5. We can accordingly substitute the values, like V1 we have considered as 20, that means with standard hard water, so 10 and 10 are cancelled, 20 upon 10 into 1 into 1000 will be your total hardness. And if it is V2, then V2 is 10 ml, so and V3 is 5 ml. So it will be 10 upon 20, that is V2 upon V1, and it will be V3, that is 5 upon 10 into 1 into 1000. This will give us permanent hardness and the earlier one will give us temporary total hardness. When total hardness is permanent hardness is subtracted from total hardness, then we get the value of temporary hardness. So students, this is all about EDTA method. Thank you.